from Sharon's Stamping Spot, and I'm here to share with you the note card and pocket folder that I am going to make today. I've run a couple of classes lately on it. I tried to video my virtual class, but that didn't work so well. And so this is actually my second redo because the first one I did was so long, it wouldn't load. I'm just having a tech nightmare right now, and it's getting a little bit frustrating. Anybody else get like that when they're dealing with technology? Anyway, I'm going to get started here. I'm going to turn my camera around and we'll get going. So I now have 3 of these lovely pockets, and these are made with the Unbounded Beauty 12 by 12 designer series paper from the new 2024-2025 annual catalog. They actually feature our new set of in colors that came out this year. So they will be in colors for 2024 to 26. I really missed the ones that retired, but these are just gorgeous. So we've got these different papers. So we've got Peach Pie. We have Pretty in Pink, which is a returning color actually. The darker pink that's on these is called Petunia Pop. Both of these actually have actually all 3, Summer Splash, and then I'm not sure. There's not sure if that's, yeah, that might be. There's one more color called Shy Shamrock, and it's more of a green than the bluey green. Anyway, we're gonna get started. I'm gonna just set these aside. Oh, I will show you. Once you open them up, there's room for different note cards in. There's a total of 4 of those note cards. I did them so that they matched the folder and well, matched each other as well. So I'm just going to set those aside and we're going to get started, and I'm going to pick out my paper. So these are 5 of the 6. I'm actually completely out of one of the papers, but I did manage to steal one before they were all used up by my classes. And this is the final one here. I think what I'm going to do today is I'm going to use this one because I actually haven't used that yet. So we'll just put those papers aside. Now you're going to need something to score with. And I absolutely love the Stampin' Up! Trimmer for this. It comes with 2 different blades. Dark one is for cutting and the light one is for scoring. And we're just going to use this. Now I do have to pop out the tuck-away arm there. And we're going to get this. Oh, I need to figure out one thing about this. Now you want to know if there's a top or a bottom. A top or bottom or direction to the paper. This one right here definitely has a direction. The flowers are going this way. So if you have a direction on the paper and you want it to go in a certain way, you're going to start with that up and down. This one doesn't particularly have a direction too much, but I see that the flowers are kind of all facing up. So I'm going to use this as my top. Now, my scoring, what we're going to do is we're going to do a set of different scores along the top edge, and then we're going to continue afterwards and do the other side. So first score, I'm going to line up my paper with 1 3/4 and just make sure that it's tight to one edge or the other. Oh, and I want to get rid of my cutting blade. You can actually just pop it out as well. I'm going to try and be careful not to use the cutting blade instead. So I'm just going to score at 1 3/4. The next score line is at 5.5. I usually run mine twice. You want to be careful with designer series paper because it's not quite as thick as regular cardstock, so you don't want to rip when you're trying to score. So the next one is at 6.25. And the last one across the top is 10.25. Yep, 10.25. Okay, so my next job, I'm going to take the paper and just rotate it 90 degrees. So we're just going to go across the side of the paper this time. Now, if you want these measurements, I do have a tutorial available. If you buy $50 or more this month, I will send you the tutorial for this for free. If you would like to buy the tutorial, you can check out my blog spot and I'll give you the address for that shortly. So our next one on that side, we're going to score at 2.5. The other way you can get the measurements is just slow down the video or stop it, and then you can work along with me. 8.25. Oh, and I've got lots of lovely, they're playing pool upstairs. And 10 and a 16th, but honestly that one's, you know, this isn't exact. So close enough. Okay, so I can get rid of my trimmer for now. And now the thing I want to make sure, there's 2 folds, and I don't think you can see, oh, a little bit of the creasing is visible. There's 2 creases that are only about 1 inch apart. The one that was 5.5 and 6.25, so 3/4 of an inch. Now that's what is going to form the spine of your little booklet here. So it's super important when you're, there we go. Let's see if that shows up. Yep, those 2 right there. That's the spine of my book. So it's really important that you keep that running vertically in front of you while you're folding. Now the other thing that you're going to want to do, you're going to look at your paper, and whichever paper you want to be the bulk of what you're seeing on your folder, I call it kind of the main panel, and then the trim piece. Well, the trim piece is what you're going to have looking at you as you, or the panel piece is what you're going to have looking at you as you fold. So I think I'm going to actually keep this abstract side as the main part of my folder, and then that will make the pretty flowers the trim on the edges. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the corners and we're going to fold it. Now there's a crease on either side. We're going to fold the corners towards that crease. It's okay if it's just a little bit shy, because that's actually going to make it easier to fold. Now you're going to take that, fold it up to that line, and then just take a bone folder and crease it there. And I'm going to do the same thing on all 4 corners, and we're taking the outside corner and going towards the middle, lining it up with that vertical score line. Okay. And the next one, so that one's going to go up towards the middle. And number 4. And there we go. All right, so this next step is where you're going to know if you folded the triangles too far, and I will show you how to fix that if you do. So I'm going to take that line, that same crease line that we've got there, and I'm going to use that to fold the trim part. And just run your bone folder. Now, if it doesn't want to fold, if it feels a little bit too bulky and it feels like things are bending in there, can you see how that one corner is kind of lifting up? You can just go back and refold it just a little bit farther away from the crease. And there you go. You're going to do the same thing on both sides. Fold it in towards the center. Use your bone folder, give it a nice sharp crease. Now, we've got the trim made. We're actually going to flip it over now. So we've got 2 creases here. We've got 3. So this side I've got in front of me has the side with 2 creases, and then the other one has 1 crease that's just off the edge. So I'm actually going to do the double one first, and I'm going to use the one that's closer into the center of the folder and fold it towards the middle. And then I'm going to take the other side, fold it on the crease, and fold it in towards the middle as well. And this is forming the inside of your card. Now you'll see that the 2 panels, they overlap a little bit, and that is so that you can take the panels and tuck them together, and that's all that holds it together. Now it doesn't matter, you can tuck it the long side into the short or the short side into the long. It really doesn't make a difference. Okay, and there's my folder. It will lay down a little bit more flat once we get all the folds and everything, but you can play with it until you're happy with it. So what we're going to do is I'm going to just turn it. I find that these two last creases, making the spine, work a little bit better if it's turned the other way. So I'm just going to find those two spine creases, fold one towards the middle, use my bone folder and crease it nicely, and then turn it around and find the other one, fold it towards the middle, make it nice and sharp and good. And there is, oh, I missed. There we go. And there is the spine of my book. And now I've got almost a completed folder. So the only thing that we have left to do on the folder now is to add the ribbon to tie. And I happen to have all of the in colors here. So there's Peach Pie, Pretty in Pink, Shy Shamrock, Petunia Pop, and Summer Splash. I think for this one, I am actually going to use, ooh, this is tough. Wish I had a live feed. I would just ask for a vote. I think I'm going to use the Peach Pie this time. So we want about 16 inches. It's not an exact science, so I'm just using my cutting board because it has a ruler on it and I know that I can trust the measurements here. So that's there we go. That's the measure that I want for my ribbon. Get that out of the way. Then we're actually going to take that ribbon, fold it in half, and I'm going to cut it and make the two pieces. There we go. These are the greatest way of storing ribbon, just an FYI. I hate it when I don't have a way of, and those little pieces of tape that they come with, when you buy them at the stores, the big box stores, they stick too well, they don't stick well enough. The Stampin' Up ones come wrapped in plastic and then there is no way and they just kind of unravel. So I take mini binder clips, I just wrap it around the edge and clip it.